Welcome to Cruise Safe, where we uncover the secrets hiding beneath the surface of your dream vacation. Today, we're diving into the deep, shadowy waters of cruise ship cuisine where not everything is as it seems. Sure, holidays are meant for fun and relaxation, but step aboard one of these floating cities, and you're placing your trust and your stomach into unknown hands. They promise a paradise of endless food, a culinary wonderland on the high seas, mountains of food, buffets that seem to stretch for miles. Fancy dining rooms gleaming under the lights. It all looks absolutely incredible, right? But behind that glistening facade, secrets lurk in the shadows. There's a dark side to all-you-can-eat a minefield of potential disasters and a gastronomic gamble where the stakes are your health. Food that's been sitting out for hours. Ingredients of mysterious origin. Hygiene standards that would make a health inspector weep. A culinary catastrophe waiting to happen just beneath the surface. So stick with me as I pull back the curtain and reveal the 10 foods you must absolutely under any circumstances avoid on a cruise ship. Ready? Let's get started. Right, let's start with something that screams sophistication but can be a one-way ticket to disaster buffet sushi. You see it glistening under the lights, little jewels of rice and fish, looking all delicate and delicious. You think, wow, fresh sushi at sea, how luxurious. Wake up! You're on a floating hotel with thousands of other people, not a top-tier Tokyo restaurant. The logistics of getting genuinely fresh, sushi-grade fish onto that ship, storing it correctly and serving it safely at a massive buffet are a bloody nightmare. The biggest enemy of raw fish is temperature. It needs to be kept consistently, precisely cold. Do you trust that the pimply-faced teenager who restocked the buffet tray an hour ago knows or even cares about the danger zone for bacterial growth? A few degrees off, a few minutes too long out of the chiller, and that beautiful piece of tuna becomes a petri dish for salmonella and listeria. It's a ticking time bomb, and you're putting it in your mouth. So, when you see that sushi, I want you to walk away. Unless you're in a dedicated, high-end specialty restaurant on the ship where you can see the chef preparing it to order, you are playing Russian roulette with your digestive system. Next up, a childhood favorite that hides a disgusting secret, the soft-serve ice cream machine. Oh, it's so tempting, isn't it? That magical lever, endless swirls of creamy, cold delight. Kids love it. What's wrong is what you can't see. These machines are a bloody biohazard. To be truly clean, it needs to be completely disassembled, scrubbed, sanitized, reassembled every single day. When they aren't cleaned properly, the leftover dairy residue inside starts to fester. Listeria, E. coli, staphylococcus. Go for the pre-packaged, individually wrapped ice cream bars instead. Or find hard packs scooped by staff. The breakfast buffet, the glorious morning spread. And what's at the heart of it? A giant, steaming tray of scrambled eggs. They look fluffy, yellow, inviting, but this is often a complete and utter fraud. Powdered eggs. They just add water or milk. Whisk it in a vat, pour it onto a griddle. It's cheap, it's easy. Vast trays sit under heat lamps for hours. Edges go dry and crusty. The middle turns into a lukewarm swamp. Not hot enough to kill germs. Want eggs on a cruise? One safe option, the omelet station. Watch a chef crack fresh eggs into a pan right in front of you. Cooked to order, hot and fresh. People always ask about the water on a cruise ship. Is it safe to drink? The cruise lines will tell you, yes, of course, our water is highly filtered and purified. They'll talk about their fancy reverse osmosis desalination systems. But here's the reality. Water may start clean at the treatment plant, then take a long, sometimes dirty journey to your tap. How old are those pipes? Are they corroding? Is there a buildup of biofilm or other gunk inside them? The ship is constantly vibrating, flexing, and aging. The integrity of that plumbing is a huge question mark. You don't know what the water picks up on the way to your glass. Furthermore, storage tanks can be a contamination source. If maintenance is skipped or done poorly, bacterial growth can occur. If norovirus or another waterborne illness gets in, it can spread through the ship like wildfire. Stick to bottled water. Use bottled water for drinking. Use bottled water for brushing your teeth. Use bottled water for taking medication. Now we come to the raw bar. Oysters, clams, mussels. They look so elegant, so decadent sitting there on a bed of ice. A little squeeze of lemon, a dash of hot sauce. It's the taste of the ocean. But it can also be the taste of violent, projectile food poisoning. Eating uncooked shellfish, especially on a cruise ship, is one of the riskiest things you can possibly do. It's like playing poker with a shark. You're going to lose. Shellfish, like oysters, are filter feeders. In doing so, they also concentrate any bacteria and viruses that are present in the water they came from. The most notorious of these is Vibrio, a bacteria that can cause severe gastrointestinal distress, and in some cases can be fatal. They have to be kept alive and at a very specific cold temperature right up until the moment they are shucked and served. The shellfish on top might be cool, but the ones in the middle of the pile might be much warmer. Go for the cooked shrimp cocktail instead. This one seems so innocent, so harmless, the bread basket. It arrives at your table in the dining room, or it sits there on the buffet, filled with warm, crusty rolls. What could be wrong with bread? That communal basket is a cesspool of germs, a revolving door of other people's filth. Think about it. Before that basket got to your table, how many other tables has it been to? How many hands have rummaged through it? Their kids with fingers that have been everywhere dig through the basket looking for their favorite. They decide they want a different one, so they put it back. You are essentially eating every germ from every person who touched that basket before you. The cloth napkin lining the basket? Don't even get me started. Is it changed between every single use? Of course not. Ask your waiter for rolls to be brought on a separate plate, just for your table. Or use tongs. If you see someone digging in with their bare hands, just skip the bread entirely. It's not worth getting sick over a piece of bread. Have some standards, for goodness sake. Here's another one that looks healthy and refreshing, the big bowls of pre-cut fruit. Melon, pineapple, strawberries, grapes. It's colorful, it's sweet, and it seems like the perfect light option. Wrong. That beautiful bowl of fruit is a ticking time bomb of bacteria and lost nutrients. This starts a rapid process of oxidation, which destroys vitamins like vitamin C. But more importantly, the exposed sugary surface becomes a magnet for airborne bacteria. Every cough, every sneeze, every speck of dust in the air can land on that fruit and begin to multiply. The fruit's own sugar and moisture create the perfect breeding ground. Then there's the preparation. Was the knife clean? Was the cutting board sanitized? Or was the same board used to cut raw chicken 5 minutes earlier? That honeydew could have been cut hours ago, even the day before. It sweats, it gets mushy, and it becomes a perfect home for listeria, which can grow even at refrigerator temperatures. The only fruit you should be eating on a cruise ship is fruit that you peel yourself. A whole banana, a whole orange, a whole apple that you can wash. Don't be a donut, peel your own fruit. You've had a long day of excursions, you decide to order room service, you think I'll be healthy, and you order a Caesar salad. The doorbell rings and there it is, under a silver cloche. You lift the lid and what do you see? A sad, wilted, lukewarm plate of despair. The journey from the main galley to your cabin on deck 12 is a long one. It travels through warm corridors, it waits for an elevator. By the time it gets to you, that crisp romaine has turned into a limp green rag. Leafy greens are notorious for carrying E. coli and other pathogens. If they aren't washed meticulously and in a high-volume kitchen, are you confident every single leaf is perfectly cleaned? You're at risk. Then, as the salad warms up on its long journey to your room, any bacteria present will start to multiply rapidly. The grilled chicken on your Caesar salad? How long ago was that cooked? It was likely cooked in a huge batch, chilled and then sliced and thrown on your salad cold. The croutons are stale, the parmesan is sweaty. The whole thing is a culinary tragedy. If you're ordering room service, stick to things that are served hot. A hot soup, a freshly cooked pizza, these items travel better and are inherently safer. I love a beautiful, perfectly cooked rare steak. A deep red center, juicy, full of flavor. But would I order one on a cruise ship? Bloody hell no. Ordering rare or undercooked meat in that environment is like juggling with knives. It's foolish and you're bound to get hurt. The risk of foodborne illness is simply too high. When you cook a piece of meat, like a steak, the high heat on the outside kills any surface bacteria. That's why you can safely eat a rare steak, because the inside is generally sterile. This only applies if the meat is a whole muscle cut and has been handled with impeccable hygiene from the butcher to the pan. Can you be sure the steak wasn't tenderized with needles, a process that can push surface bacteria deep into the meat? The situation is even more dire with ground meats, like in a hamburger. That's why a burger must be cooked through. Ordering a pink burger from a poolside grill on a cruise ship is one of the stupidest culinary decisions you can make. They're cooking thousands of steaks and burgers every single day. Do you think every single cook is using a thermometer to check the internal temperature of every single piece of meat? No chance. When you order meat, you need to be firm. Order it medium well or well done. Swallow your pride and order your meat cooked through. It's the only way to be sure it's safe. Finally, we come to something you probably never even think about: ice. It's just frozen water, right? The self-serve ice machines, located in the buffet areas and on passenger decks, are some of the filthiest places on the entire ship. They are a frozen breeding ground for bacteria and mold. The internal components of an ice maker are complex and difficult to clean. If they are not regularly emptied, scrubbed, and sanitized, biofilm can build up inside. Then there's the human factor. People reach into the bin with their bare hands. They scoop ice with the same cup they're about to drink from. The scoop is the worst offender. It sits in the ice, getting handled by hundreds of unwashed hands. You have no idea what's lurking in those cloudy cubes. Studies have found that ice from self-serve machines can contain more bacteria than toilet water. Avoid the self-serve machines like the plague. Get your drinks from a bartender who uses a clean scoop from a behind-the-counter bin. Or better yet, drink your beverages at room temperature. It's a small sacrifice for a huge gain in peace of mind. So there you have it. The next cruise you take could hinge on what you've just learned. 10 foods that look tempting but could turn your dream vacation into a nightmare. Every meal, every bite a gamble with your health. But you're not powerless. You can outsmart the odds. Here's your mission. Subscribe to Cruise Safe for more shocking truths and essential tips. What's the worst thing you've ever eaten at sea? Drop your cruise food horror stories in the comments below. Let's see who survived the scariest meal. Will you play it safe or roll the dice on your next cruise? The choice is yours. Subscribe now to Cruise Safe and make sure your next voyage is unforgettable for all the right reasons.